Are you ready to add nutrition and convenience to your kitchen and save money at the same time? Learn how to can beans easily and quickly today to add to your prepper pantry. Welcome to the Old Mayfield place. Canning is a great way to preserve the freshness and flavor of beans while also adding nutritional value to your meals. In this video, I'll show you how to can beans step by step so you can enjoy the delicious taste, nutrition, and convenience of beans you canned at home. Black beans are one of the best for canning, as are red beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans, and navy beans. Last night I covered my black beans with water to let them soak overnight. Soaking the beans for 8 to 12 hours is an important step. Beans contain complex carbohydrates that are not easily digestible by humans. Soaking the beans helps break down some of these compounds, making them easier to digest and reducing the likelihood of gastrointestinal discomfort. It also helps to increase the availability of some nutrients. After soaking the beans overnight, you want to discard that water and give the beans a thorough rinse. Beans are known to cause gas and bloating, and a lot of the compounds that are responsible for that effect are in the water. Just get rid of it. Once the beans are rinsed, you want to put them into a pot and cover them with fresh water. Turn the heat on and bring the beans to a boil and boil for about 30 minutes. During this boiling time, you will want to make sure you have your equipment ready. This is a hot pack method of canning, so you will need clean and hot jars. To learn all the steps necessary to pressure can safely, I will leave a link to my video on Pressure Canning 101 in the description below. Did you know that 1/2 cup of cooked black beans contains 7.6 grams of protein, 7.5 grams of fiber, and less than 1/2 gram of fat? Beans are very nutritious. After the beans have boiled for 30 minutes, use a slotted spoon to fill your jars to about the shoulder or 2 inches below the rim. The beans are going to swell during the canning process, so you need to give them space to do this. Then use the cooking liquid to top off the jars, leaving 1 inch of headspace. Adding salt to your jars is optional, as it has nothing to do with preserving your food and is added only for taste. But if you want to add it, use up to 1/2 teaspoon of salt per pint or 1 teaspoon per quart. Now remove the air bubbles from your jar and adjust the headspace if needed. Wipe the rims of the jars with a damp cloth, place a new clean lid on the jar, and then screw on a ring to finger tight only. Place the jars into the pressure canner that has simmering water inside. Since beans are a low acid food, pressure canning is required to ensure you produce safe food for your family. Black beans have been shown to be excellent for supporting your cardiovascular health because they contain anti-inflammatory elements that can help reduce the risk of damage to your blood vessels. Once all of your jars are filled and in the pressure canner, place the lid on the canner and turn the heat up to get the water boiling. Do not put the weight on at this time. When you have a steady stream of steam escaping from the steam vent, set your timer for 10 minutes to vent all of the air out of the pressure canner. Black beans are a high-fiber food which helps prevent constipation, decreases the absorption of cholesterol from your food, and feeds your gut bacteria to help keep them healthy. Fiber is also important to keep your blood sugar at a normal level and to help you lose weight. At the store the other day, a 15-ounce can of black beans cost 99 cents, but a 2-pound bag of dried black beans costs $2.55 and will yield the equivalent of 6 jars. That sounds like a bargain to me. Once your canner is completely vented, place the weight on the steam vent and wait for the pressure to come up to your required level. The amount of pressure needed will depend on your elevation, so check your canning book to determine the pressure required where you live. I live at under 1,000 feet above sea level, so I need a minimum of 11 pounds of pressure throughout the canning process. If the pressure falls below 11 pounds of pressure at any time during the process, I will have to bring it back up to the required pressure and start my timer all over again. Because of this, I keep my pressure 1 or 2 pounds above the minimum, or at about 12 to 13 pounds. Pressure that is a bit too high will not hurt anything, but if the pressure falls too low, you can't guarantee a safe product. All dried beans or peas need to be processed for 75 minutes when canning pints and 90 minutes for quarts. Once you reach your required pressure or just above it, set your timer, but do not walk away. You need to watch your canner to be sure that you keep your pressure within the safety range. While you don't have to stare at it for the next 75 or 90 minutes, you do need to monitor it every 10 minutes or so to make sure that everything is good. After the beans have been processed for the required amount of time, turn off the heat and walk away. It is very important that the pressure comes down to zero naturally. The time to come off of pressure is part of the time required to kill off the bacteria in the food, so leave that pressure cooker alone. Once your gauge reaches zero, wait another 15 minutes, then check the weight to see if there's any pressure left. If not, it's safe to open your canner. Make sure you tilt the lid so that the steam is directed away from your face. While the pressure is gone, there will still be steam present, so don't get burned. Place a towel or cooling rack in an out-of-the-way area on your counter to place the jars while they are cooling down. Using a jar lifter, carefully move the jars to the towel and leave them alone for the next 12 to 24 hours so that they can seal properly. Do not tilt the jars, as liquid or food may get under the lid, preventing a tight seal. Once the jars are cool, check each to make sure it's sealed. Remove or at least loosen the rings for storage. Wash the jars and label them with the contents and the date canned. Ugh. Out of 13 jars, I have 2 failures. This is very unusual, and I'm not sure why it happened. But if you can very much, it will happen to you too. However, the beans are still good. They will keep in the refrigerator for a few days, but these beans will be made into black bean soup for supper tonight. So all is good. Store your jars in a cool, dry, dark area until you're ready to use them. While your beans will have the most nutritional value in the first year after they are canned, they will be safe to feed your family for many years to come. As long as the seal is intact, they are still safe. Beans are easy to can and so convenient to have on your shelf to reach for when you need to make a quick meal. You can make them into soups, chilies, or black beans and rice. You can spice them up for a side dish to go with your Mexican meal, or you can add them to a salad. You can even use them to make black bean brownies, although I've never tried that. Have you? Thank you for stopping by the old Mayfield place today. Stay healthy. What are you going to do with your beans? And have a blessed week.